Hey everybody, how is it going? Happy, let's see, it's Thursday where I am. It may not be Thursday where you are, or you may be watching this at a different time, but it is Thursday, October 6th, celebrating my birth month. My birthday is October 20th, and I really like to just treat myself all month. So, anyway, I just got off a call with a dear client whom I adore. I actually adore all of my clients. So that made me think back to teaching high school, where I definitely had my favorite students, even though I would never tell any of the students that. But really, I'm lucky enough to only work with women that I just absolutely adore. And I'm so grateful for all of them. Anyway, we were talking about being human versus being a robot. So I've talked about this before, and I really want to talk about it a lot more because it summarizes so much where I think a lot of you are in your lives. And I can relate to it a lot on an ongoing basis, both when I was super overwhelmed and just feeling really stuck and anxious and burned out in my life all at the same time. But also, even now, like just having a human brain and having the human experience. So, what am I talking about? What I mean is, a lot of you, I'm guessing, would prefer to be a robot. You don't know this, you would never fess up to it, but you actually want to be a robot. That's for a variety of reasons. Robots don't make mistakes. If they make mistakes, they get reprogrammed. Um, my brain just went off in a different direction. If they make mistakes, they get reprogrammed, so they don't make mistakes. Robots are created to do a job, usually one job, and they're really good at it. I'm thinking about Roombas, right? So, aside, when we were in Iceland, they actually have Roomba type lawnmowers, which are so rad. We saw them in a park and they're bigger than Roomba vacuums. They're not made by Roomba, I don't know who makes them, but they just go back and forth. They're super slow, which is a good thing because you wouldn't want your Roomba lawnmower to get away from you. They're super slow, but they just go back and forth mowing the lawn, which is pretty rad. Anyway, they have one job, right? And they're good at it. I'm guessing you probably would love to have one job that you feel like you're good at, right? Robots don't make mistakes. If they do make a mistake, there's a quick fix to it. There's no emotional agony because also robots don't feel emotions. And I have a feeling that you probably would prefer to not go through the daily gamut of emotions like guilt and shame and disappointment and fear, because those are all of the emotions that we tend to go out of our way to not feel. So we don't take risks. We don't do new things. We don't do what it is that we truly want to do in our hearts for fear that we'll have to feel a negative emotion. If you're a robot, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Robots don't worry. Robots don't stay up at night ruminating over things. Basically, you probably think a robot has a simpler existence. But let me tell you, you didn't sign up to be a robot. I don't know what you believe about life and death and beyond life. I believe that we actually choose to come here and we choose our human experience. So we choose the people that we want to spend our time with. We choose the experiences that we want to have. We choose the challenges that we want to have. That doesn't mean that you don't have autonomy once you get here, but I'd like to think that there's some element of choice rather than just being dropped on the planet. Good luck. Anyway, I digress. So I'd like to believe that we chose this human experience, even when it feels like shit. It's still, there's still so much beauty and so much amazingness to human life. Robots don't get to feel joy. Robots don't get to embrace loved ones. Robots don't get to challenge themselves to achieve new goals. Robots don't feel fulfilled at the end of a day. So, something that I teach, thinking about emotions, because one of the primary reasons you want to be a robot is because they don't feel emotions, is that life is 50-50. So you may have heard me say this before, but what I mean is life is it's about half and half, positive emotions and negative emotions. So emotions that you love feeling and emotions that you resist feeling. What I mean by that is at the end of your life, if you were to look back over the whole thing, about half of it would be great, half of it would suck. I'm just ballparking here. But that's kind of how it goes because without the the sucky emotions, you wouldn't notice the great emotions. I know when people used to say that, like, without sadness, you would not know what happiness is. And I'd be like, try me. But it's really true. It's all part of the human experience. However, there are things you can do to make the human experience better. You don't want to be a robot, but you can make the human experience better. We're supposed to be messy. I'm looking around my office and it's a disaster zone. I don't mean that kind of messy. I mean, we're supposed to make mistakes. We're supposed to get it wrong. We're supposed to try things. We're supposed to take risks. We're supposed to learn along the way. Robots don't get to do that. Robots don't get to take risks. Robots don't get to set their own goals. However, the fear of feeling a negative emotion like shame or guilt or disappointment or regret, regret's a big one that I know holds you all back. The fear of feeling those emotions keeps you from doing the things that you actually want to do. Here's what I want you to know is you deserve a flipping amazing life. Not because you've necessarily earned it. Like, I love to ask clients what gives a person value in the world. Like, where does your value come from? Because usually they'll say something like, oh, well, from working hard, from serving other people, from helping other people. You have value just because you exist. I want you to think about that. I know you probably don't believe that yet, but your value doesn't come from your job. Your value doesn't come from what other people think about you. Your value doesn't come from the number of gold stars that you get on any given day. Your value comes just because you exist. You get to have value just because you exist. The beauty of that is that takes the pressure off of you. So if you're valuable no matter what, and you don't have to hustle for your worth, what do you want to do? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to start doing? What do you want to say heck to the no to? You deserve an amazing life. So stop trying to be a robot. Stop trying to not make mistakes. Stop trying to get everything right. You get to be a human. Humans are messy. We have the full range of human emotions. That's nothing to be afraid of. And we get to learn and grow and develop. All right. If you want help with that, I am here for you. I have some tricks to make the human experience better and more manageable and more amazing and sparkly, or even just palatable. More human, less robot. Take care.